want you to count how many sounds are in the word burger. Burger. Put it in the chat. Take your time. Getting all sorts of answers in the chat here. In burger, we have 4 sounds. We have b, g, There are, I believe, 6 letters in it. I'll put it in the chat for you. That B is making its own sound, b. UR says as in urge or burp or flurry. UR says so we have 2 letters that make one sound there, and then we have your G, and then we have your 2 letters that make one sound at the end. ER says too. ER, IR, and UR all say So there are those 4 sounds in burger. B, g, Sounds in muffin. Go ahead and put it in the chat. How many sounds in muffin? Take your time. This warm-up is essential for isolating the sounds within a word. Okay, they're still coming in, so I'm going to give them a few more minutes. Okay, so the sound for M is made with your lips together and they can't open. So the sound for M is not ma, it's m. That is the next sound. So we have m, f, I, n. 5 sounds. So the ma is going to be tempting to combine, and the in at the end is going to be tempting to combine. So some of you might have only put 3 sounds, but it's really 5. M, f, I, n. And when you say it at home right now, I want you to make sure that you put a break in between each one of those sounds like I just did, so that they can't touch at all. Your brain has to completely isolate each sound from the ones next to it. So make sure that when you're saying it, you put a break like this. M, f, I, n. Because every sound has an associated grapheme, and every grapheme has a job. Okay, grapheme, if you don't know, is a letter or a set of letters that makes a sound. Okay, last one is going to be hard. How many sounds in umbrella? Here's a little hint. Make sure that you don't combine the eh with the ul. L is 2 sounds. Okay, in umbrella, we have watch the shape of my mouth, how much it changes with each sound, and listen to the breaks in between each sound. B, e, l, 7. One more time. B, e, l, 7 sounds in umbrella. If you got close, good job. If you got it right on. If you weren't even close, hang in there. Actually, I'm looking in the comments, everybody was close. Okay, so today's lesson, in this month in February, we're going to be learning about E. And at the beginning of each month, we're going to learn the long versus the short sound of the vowel. So the long sound is its name. That can be really confusing for a lot of people. Like, they know the tab 2 rule, they know what is the one sound is long and one sound is short, but they can't remember what sound is which. Even if I say the long sound is its name, That's still confusing for some people. So when you think of the name, think about it introducing itself to its neighbor. I'm B, I'm A. Its name is its long sound. So the long sound for E is E. The short sound for E is like elephant or exit. It's very different. Well, actually, I shouldn't say very different. It's different but similar to the short I sound. I. So for the short I sound, your mouth, I'm going to put Mr. Betty here away. Say goodbye to your friends. Okay, so the sound for the short E is made with your mouth open medium width. If you open it any bigger, it'll be an ah. It'll be a short A sound. If you open it any smaller, it'll be an I. So it has to be open medium width. Think of elephant, exit, excited, eccentric, electric, Think about that sound before you say those words that start with E. Just cut off the rest and you'll have that So long is E, short is And we know which sound it's going to make by the tap 2 rule. Come to a vowel, you look at the next 2 letters. If either one of them is another vowel, then the vowel that you're on is going to say its name or its long sound. If not, if those next 2 letters are consonants, the vowel that you're on is going to say its short sound. So let's practice that. Here are your vowels up here, A, E, I, O, U, and Y when it's not the first letter. If there is a vowel 1 or 2 doors down, then the vowel that you're on is going to say its long sound or its name. If not, if there's not a vowel 1 or 2 doors down, it's going to say its short or its common sound. All right, I'll do this first one with you. So this E does have a vowel 1 or 2 doors down. It's going to say E, its name or its long sound. This E does not have a vowel 1 or 2 doors down, so it's not going to say its name. It's going to say its regular short sound. Remember, medium width. So the sounds are E, D, P. Blending those together, pushing that sound. The line is representing the sound. There's no breaks. E-dep. E-dep. Accent on the first syllable. Says stronger. E-dep. E-dep. Okay, let's try yours over here. I'll be quiet while you work. Be careful when you say that last sound, the M, that your lips stay together. That it's not ma at the end. All right, so we know this first E is going to say E because there's a vowel 2 doors down. We know this second E is going to say because there's not another vowel 1 or 2 doors down. So the sounds are E, T, E-tem, E-tem. Accent on the first syllable, E-tem. Yeah? Did you get that? So far, so good? Okay, number 2. I'm underlining the E's. I used to circle them, but it gets a little messy. I'm just going to underline. We always work on figuring out what the vowels are. If you're saying a word or trying to figure out what a word is, if you can figure out the vowels, you can figure out the word. So we're going to identify the vowels, figure out what sound they make before you pencil read. This E I see has 2 consonants after it. There's not a vowel there or there. So it's going to say eh. Neither does this one. It doesn't have a vowel 1 or 2 doors down, so it's also going to say eh. And it's most common. The short sound is most common. So in most words, the vowels are going to make their short sound. So the sounds are s, t, n, d, n. When you're pronouncing those N's, make sure that your tongue stays to the top of your mouth. When you're pronouncing those N's, make sure that your tongue stays to the top of your mouth. So when I blend those sounds together, it's stenden. Stenden. Accent right here. Stenden. Okay, let's try yours. So I wanted, before I tell you what this word says, it has 3 voiceless letters in it. And so I want to make sure that I talk to you about what that means. Some letters are voiced, meaning they have sound. They use your vocal cords. And some are voiceless, meaning they have no sound, only air is used. The P, the S, and the T in this word, there's a few more like H and F and a few others. But in this word, we have the P, S, and T that are all voiceless. So make sure when you're sounding those out that no sound comes out when you're to that letter. P is not P, S is not sa, and T is not ta. There's no get the off of there. Otherwise, when you're sounding it out, it's going to sound like palensatim. It's going to have a lot more sounds in there than is required. So the sounds are, first of all, we know that these 2 E's say because there's no vowel 1 or 2 doors after them. So the sounds are, pay attention to the sound that I make, and I'll take my time so that you can repeat them after me. P, l, s, t, On the end, did your tongue stay to the top of your mouth? And on the M, did your lips stay together? That's also super important. The tongue can't release or else other sounds will come in. One more time. P, l, s, t, If you said that just like me, then you have stellar pronunciation skills. All right, let's blend that together. We have plenstem. Plenstem. It's going to be easy for your mouth to produce an I sound instead of an eh. And I want to really solidify that in this lesson. Your ear, especially if you have dyslexia, it's going to have a very difficult time discriminating between the eh and the I sound. And one might come out when the other is what you're supposed to be saying, and you won't even know it. So I'm going to really try to train your ear today between hearing the I versus the eh, and it all has to do with the shape of your mouth. So make sure that your mouth is nice and open. Not too open, we don't want ah, but we do want a nice open eh for those sounds. So it's not I. So when we blend those together, it's plenstem, plenstem. If you accidentally put an I in there, it would sound like plinstem, which is easier for the mouth to pronounce. So you have to really be in control of what's coming out in the shape of your mouth. Plenstem. It's harder to pronounce, but that's correct. So any questions? Put in the chat how you're doing so far on those 2 words, etem and plenstem. How are you doing? And can you hear the sound between the eh and the I, or is it a little difficult for you? Let me know in the chat. Okay, we're getting lots of goods and lots of okays. A couple hards. Okay, so far nobody is saying, you know what, this is so easy, April. Nobody's saying that so far. We're getting lots of good, lots of okays. So I'm gonna continue going nice and slow. All right. Number 3, I'll go ahead and annotate this for you. This E is going to say E because there's a vowel 2 doors down. This E is going to say eh because there's not another vowel in the next 1 or 2 spots. This E is also going to say eh because there's not another vowel in the next 1 or 2 spots. These sounds are E, S, eh, S, T, eh, N. Those consonants are ones that we've talked about already. S and T are voiceless, only air, and the N, your tongue stays to the roof of your mouth. So make sure you're pronouncing them just like me. When you blend those sounds together, we have E-ses-ten, E-ses-ten, E-ses-ten. Like I said, it's kind of hard for your mouth. I'm wondering if that's what a lot of the OKs and so-sos were in the chat. It's hard for your mouth to pronounce the eh. It's a lot easier for you to pronounce the I. Go ahead and put in the chat if that's kind of where the trouble is discriminating between those two sounds, or if just reading the word in general is a little difficult. Yeah. So I'm getting some people in the chat. Yeah, that is what the challenge is. But you have control over that based on the shape of your mouth. I wish I could put my mouth nice and close to the camera. I probably could, but you probably don't want to see me that close up. Okay, let's try this next one. Go ahead and work. I'll be quiet. Break it up right here. So the sounds are E, L, E, S, T, E, M. E is this part, less is this part, and then tem is this part. Elestem, elestem, elestem. Good job, Susan. I see you nodding your head. Yay. Okay, let's try this one. So this E is going to say E, and this E is going to say E. Because this E has a vowel 1 or 2 doors down, and this E does not. So the sounds are voiceless F, and here's that R sound that has to stay, your lips have to stay puckered. R, E, N, E, D. Combining those sounds, we have freened. Freened. Okay, let's try yours. I'll be quiet while you work. Okay, so this E says E because there's a vowel 1 or 2 doors down. This E says E because there's not a vowel 1 or 2 doors down. So the sounds are a voiceless P. P, L, E, M, lips together, E, D. Pushing those sounds together. Plemed, plemed. How'd you do on those? Can I see in the chat? Was today just kind of super hard, or how'd you do on this one? You can tell me, or you can put it in the chat. Yay, Peter. I got a couple exclamation points there. I and E is difficult, but I like the tips. I know. If you have like a specific question, feel free to unmute and ask me. So, but getting it. Yay! Okay. Yay, Rowan. Okay, so I also wanted to just point out to you the shape of my mouth when I said the 2 E's in that last word. E, your mouth is in a grin shape. E. Then it relaxes more into that medium shape. Plemed, plemed. If you can control the shape of your mouth, you can control the sound. Okay, we have just I mean, it's 5 o'clock. If you need to go, go ahead. But if you have a certain word down here in the extra practice that you'd like to go over with me before we close, go ahead and put your name and the number there.